Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great, and in today's video we are going to discuss October 2023 paper 2. The first question here says to you, draw a ring around the sum of the exterior angles of an equilateral triangle. Mister, I don't care about equilateral triangle or anything. I know that the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon in the world is going to give me 360. Draw a ring around the unit that would be most suitable for measuring the mass of a ship. Definitely it is ton. It's a ship. Mia says y is 3 more than x squared. So y is 3 more than x squared, or x squared plus 3. Here are the first 5 terms of a sequence. So find the next 2 terms in the sequence. So someone might think about it. Here I added 3, then I added 5, then I added 7, then I added 9, then I must add 11, and then I add 13. So someone might think about it this way. It's not going to be wrong. This is going to be 46, and the next one is going to be 59. Correct. Someone else might think about it using the nth term, knowing that n squared plus 10 is the nth term for this sequence. So it is going to be here the sixth term, which is 6 squared plus 10. 36 plus 10 is going to give you 46. And the seventh term of the sequence, 7 squared, 49 plus 10, is going to give you 59, which is also the same result. Here is the net of a triangular prism. It is formed from 3 rectangles and 2 right-angled triangles. They want you to use this information in order to tick true or false. 3 faces have the same area. The area of the largest face is 72 centimeters squared. Let's find this quickly. This is 6 by, if you close this net, you're going to find that this is going to close and match up exactly with this side. So this is also 13 centimeters. This is going to be the same as this one, which is 12 centimeters. And this is 6 centimeters. This is also 6 centimeters. All right, so the area of the triangle, half times base times height. So it's going to give you exactly 78 centimeters squared. Okay, so the same also is this one, 78 centimeters squared. All right, and the area of this rectangle that is in the middle, 5 by 6, which is 30 centimeters squared. And over here is 6 by 13, which is going to give you 78 centimeters squared. And the last one over here, which is going to give you 6 by 12, which is 72 centimeters squared. So here, they're saying it to you, 3 faces have the same area. Yes, 78, 78, 78. True. The area of the largest face is 72 degrees, 72 centimeters squared. Is it the largest? No, mister, it is not the largest. The largest is 78, so it is false. Point A has coordinates 1 and 2. Done. Point A is first translated by vector 3, 1. So 3 right, 1 up. 3 right, 1 up is here. Then they're saying to you to give you point B. Then point B is then translated by vector 0, -5. So it doesn't move right or left, but it goes down 5. So it becomes here. This is C. Write the coordinates of C. It is 4, -2. Pencils can be bought in small packets or large packets. Mike buys M small, M of the small. The small packet has 3 pencils, so 3M. Plus N large, 5 pencils per large, so 5N. And all of them together have 86 pencils, so equals 86, which is you're going to find is this one. Find how much more 1 kilogram of raspberries, all right, raspberries costs than 1 kilogram of strawberries. So here, the strawberries, we got 1 kilogram costs 5. Look at this, 1 kilogram costs 5. So that's for the strawberries. 1 kg equals $5. While in the raspberries, The raspberries here, 5 kilograms, look at that, 5 kg equals $50. But we're comparing one with one. So 1 kilogram equals, divide this by 5, gives you $10. So 1 kilogram of raspberries is $10, and 1 kilogram of strawberries is actually, this is not a 5, it is a 6. This number is 6. 1 kilogram is 6. So here, the difference between them, find how much more 1 kilogram of raspberries costs than 1 kilogram of strawberries is just $4 more. It will take 5 workers. So the number of workers and number of days. 5 workers take 12 days to harvest some apples. Calculate how many workers are needed to harvest these apples in 4 days. So I want 4. What happened over here? We divided by 3. But I must think about this first. Is it direct or inverse proportion? What do you mean, mister? I mean, if the number of workers increase, will they take more time or less time? No, definitely, mister. If you have more workers harvesting the same number of apples, they will have less time. So the more workers, the less time. So this is inverse operation. I'm going to do the opposite. More people, less time, or less time, more people. So here you divide by 3, here you multiply by 3. They are inverse proportion. So 15 people exactly. Complete this. We just divided up by 4 and down by 4 to get the simplest form, 2 over x. And this one is y to the power of 1. Let me just zoom in. This is y to the power of 1, so that we add the powers to become 12. And this is w to the power of 5, all to the power of 2, which is w to the power of 10. A train company says the probability that a train arrives at a station on time is 0.85. Ahmed selects a random sample of 80 trains arriving at this station. Calculate the expected number of these trains that will arrive at this station on time. So it is 80 by 0.85. And this is paper 2. So I'm going to do 80 by 0.85, which is 68 trains exactly. Draw lines to match the equivalent inequalities. So this, I'm going to send it to the other side plus 1. So it will give me x is greater than 3. Send this to the other side divided by 2. So x is greater than 1. Send this to the other side, multiply by 2. So x is greater than 2. Solve this inequality. I will send first to the 11 to the other side, minus 11. So negative 2x is less than or equal to positive 9. So I need to send this negative 2 to the other side, division. And we agreed before, if you divide by negative, the sign gets switched. So x is greater than or equal to 9 over negative 2, or negative 9 over negative 2, which is actually x is greater than or equal to negative 4.5. Here are the coordinates of 4 points. Tick to show if the midpoint of each line is above or on or below the x-axis. Let's imagine the coordinate plane. Here is the y-axis, here is the x-axis. If the number is higher or above, a line is above x-axis, it means the y is more than 0. So this here is y greater than 0. Then the line is going to be what? Is going to be higher or above x-axis. If the y is 0, then it is on the x-axis. If the y is less than 0, then it is below the x-axis. Look at that. Which one goes up and down? It's the y. So y is greater than 0, above x. Y is less than 0, below x. Y is 0, on x. So let's see about this. Here they're saying the midpoint They're talking about the midpoint of AB, midpoint of AB. I don't need to get the midpoint of the X, just the Y is enough to see what the Y is going to be equal to. So here, -6 plus 5 over 2 will give you the midpoint. So it is -1 over 2, negative half. Negative half, this Y is what? It is below 0, less than 0. Y is lower than 0, so it is below X. CD, I'm going to go to CD, find the midpoint of the Y. We need only the Y to know if it's below or above the X-axis. So -2 plus 2 over 2 equals 0 over 2, which is 0. So the y-axis of this midpoint is going to be 0. Why is 0? That's on the x-axis. When 80 is increased by 8%, the result is between 105 and 110. A is a multiple of 4. Mister, I know for sure that it's less than 50%. Why? Because I know that 50% is increasing by 40. 50% of 80. If it was 50% of 80, that means plus 40, mister, which is 120, right? If you increase by 50%, it means you increase 40. So that would give you what? 120. But we want something that is smaller than 110. So definitely it is smaller than 50%. So let's increase maybe by 40%. Increase 80 by 40%. Maybe. Let's use the calculator and we try. And by the way, I chose 40 also because 40 is a multiple of 4. They told you A is a multiple of 4. So let's choose this. 40%, so the multiplier is 1.4 times 80. That gave you 112. So 112, no, it is bigger. Go down a 4 because I still need a multiple of 4. So increase 80 by 36% and try it very quickly over there. So 80 times 1.36, which is 108.8, it worked. So you're going to find that A is 36, or actually A is 32, is going to give you exactly 105 point something. So 36 will work, 32 will work. The grid here shows the positions of triangle P and triangle Q. But they're telling you something here. Describe fully the single transformation. Mister, I know that it is definitely rotation. Rotation is what did this to the shape. Look at this. It got rotated, right? It's not a reflection. It is not enlargement. It definitely didn't get any bigger. It is not even translation only. It is a single transformation. So it is rotation. Writing rotation, you took 1 mark. All right, getting a tracing paper. Let's get into this. Getting a tracing paper, and they told you it is P onto Q. So P is what got rotated. So I'm going to write over here as well, agreed rotation. Taking 1 mark. Now I need to know the angle. So getting a tracing paper and rotating a triangle P is the one that got rotated, they said. So tracing this shape. Trace it, mister, on the tracing paper. Put the pencil anywhere on the paper. It doesn't matter. Right now, all what I need to determine is just only what, not the center of rotation. I just want to know what happened exactly to the shape. Rotated 90 degrees clockwise. If you rotated 90 degrees clockwise, you're going to find your shape looking this way. It doesn't matter where the shape is going to be. I just want to see if it looks like Q or not. No, not yet. So 90 degrees clockwise is not going to work. 180 degrees once more. So 180 degrees, you're going to find it looking this way. It doesn't matter the position or where exactly it's going to be. But does it look like Q? 180 degrees? No, mister. It doesn't look like Q. So rotating it 90 more degrees. So this is 180. This is 90. No, no. Rotating it to 170 degrees, it will look exactly this way. So you can say 270 degrees will look exactly like the Q clockwise. Or you can say 90 degrees anti-clockwise also is the same. So 90 degrees anti-clockwise, which is like this, the other direction, 90 degrees anti-clockwise, or 270 clockwise, both are accepted. Good. Now we have got 2 marks. They are very easy. The center of rotation, my advice to you, leave it until the end. Circle your question until the very end of the exam, then return to it. Okay? Why? Because it takes a lot of time and it might waste the time of other questions. And at the end, you might get it wrong. So my advice to you, do not just ignore it 100%, but circle the question, get back to it for the center of rotation later. All right, let's see right now how do we get the center of rotation. I'm going to erase all of this. All right. For the center of rotation, you need to match the matching points, the matching vertices. Like I know that this, let's name it A, for example, is the same as this, A. And with your tracing paper, you're going to know that after the rotation, this point, B, became this point, B. We need to match them. So match this with that, and match this with that. Now we need to get the perpendicular bisector of each one of them. The perpendicular bisector of the line AA, the perpendicular bisector of the line BB. So what are you going to do right now? You can use the compasses, draw the perpendicular bisector, and you're going to find out that they're going to be 5, 7. Or using the perpendicular bisector through the compasses, and you learned this in Unit 5 with the constructions. Or you can simply just get this right-angled triangle tool from your geometry set. After measuring the half with your ruler, So measuring the half with my ruler, look at this. You're gonna find that this is exactly 9, or the measurement might be different on your paper because this might be a little bit enlarged when I took a screenshot, or it might have become smaller when I took the screenshot. So anyway, you need to get through halfway through this, which is here 4.5. It's 9 degrees, 4.5, 9 centimeters, I mean. So you can just get the triangle, the right angled triangle, put it over your side this way, exactly, and you start drawing the perpendicular bisector of it. The same thing exactly with this. Getting half of it. The series 7.5, so it is almost, it might be like 3.5, no, a little bit more than that. It's going to be almost here. You get also the same triangle, and you do the same thing exactly. Over here. And you're going to find that they all meet at 7.5, 5.7 exactly. So this is the center of rotation. Takes time, a little bit hard. That's why I say to you, keep it till the end, but don't forget it if you have time at the end to get back to it and complete the center of rotation. So you can say center 5, 7. Triangle R is congruent to triangle P. Triangle R maps onto itself when it is reflected in the line y equals x. All right, so let's get back here to the application. We're going to need this. And erase all of that. All right, here you go. x equals y means that when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 10, for example, y is going to become 10 as well. Then now we can draw x equals y. Here you go. This is line, the middle line, x equals y. I know that this side is the same as this, right? So the same triangle over here, this side is the same as this side. This is 3 squares. This is also taking 3 squares. So at any point of your middle line, you need to draw at any point, any stable point, 3 here, 3 here, and this connected. Now you've given triangle R. This is triangle R that they requested. And by reflecting onto itself means that if you want to reflect this point, it is going to go and become itself here. So look at that. This moved 1 square diagonal, then 1.5, then half, then 1 whole. It becomes here. So that's what they mean. And this point just maps also onto itself when it's reflected just itself. So this is what they mean. It reflects or maps onto itself when it's reflected through x equals y. So all what you needed is just to put it this way. 3 sides from any point, 3 sides from any 3 squares from any point, and then you connect. Show that the circumference of the larger circle is approximately 44 centimeters more than the circumference of the smaller circle. All right, so I'm going to get here the larger circle and here the smaller circle. Larger circle is pi d, which is pi times 18. 18 is what? 18 times 2, because here the radius of it is 18, so doubling it for the diameter is going to give you 36. So it is pi times 36, or 36 pi, while the smaller is also pi times d. Let me erase this here. The smaller circle, pi, sorry, the smaller circle is also pi d, but it is equal to pi times what? The diameter of it is 22, so pi times 22, or 22 pi. So that is actually going to be enough, showing that the circumference of the larger circle is 36 pi centimeters, while the smaller is 22 pi centimeters. Smaller, 22 pi centimeters. That's it. This shows that this is larger than that. The table shows information about the ages of 100 runners. So I know that all of this is 100. Calculate an estimate of the mean age of these runners. So to know the mean of grouped data, we must find first the what? The midpoint. So I need first here midpoint of that class interval. So the midpoint of this is what? Here is 25, here is 35, then 45, then 55. Then I must find what? You must find the frequency times the midpoint. So you're going to do here 34 times 25, 18 times 35, and so on. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to do over here 25 times 34, which is 850. And then I'm going to do 35 times 18, which is 630. 45 times 28, 1,260. 20 times 55, 1,100. the total of all of this. So it is total frequency. This is the rule of the mean. The rule of the mean equals, it is total of what? Frequency times midpoint over total frequency. We've got now the total. No, we haven't got it yet. We need to do 1,100 plus 1,260 plus 630 plus 850. Now I've got the total of the last column, which is 3,840. So it is equal to 3,840 over the total frequency. What is the total frequency? They told you 100 runners. You don't need to add them. So over 100. So what is the estimate of the mean? It is 38.4. All what you needed to get, total of the frequency times the midpoint, 3,840, over total frequency, which is given to us 100. A teacher asks 3 students to state the equations of 2 lines with a positive gradient. Tick to show if each student's answer is correct. Well, right now the gradient is the coefficient of the x. And in all equations, y is the subject already. So you must check first, is y the subject? Yes. Is y the subject in both? Yes. Is y the subject in both? Yes. So here, the saying it to you, let's now start. The positive gradient is here, positive gradient, and here positive gradient. Yes, here the gradient is 1, the gradient is 2. So correct. Here is it positive gradient? No, it is negative, and here also is negative gradient. So no, I'm not going to tick it. Lily, she's saying that this is here a positive gradient and this is a positive gradient. Yes, she is also correct. A shape is formed from a right-angled triangle, ABC, and a semicircle with CB diameter. Find the area of the whole shape. So I need first to find the area of the triangle. So area of the triangle equals base times height over 2. The base is what? They told you that this is equal to this. So the base is 6 centimeters as well. So it is 6 times 6, base times height, which is 36 over 2 equals 18 centimeters squared. This is the area of the triangle. While the area of semicircle is pi r squared over 2. Knowing that pi, we're going to use it on the calculator, is multiplied by the radius, which is 3 only, squared, which is actually 9, over 2 equals, get your calculator, get me here, this is pi times 3 squared, which is 9 pi, over 2. Gives you the area of the semicircle, which is 14.13, or actually 14.14, rounding it to 2 decimal places. Or if you want to round it to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places, it's up to you. They did not determine anything, but don't round it to the whole number. All right, so 14.1 or 14.14 is accepted. But the total area for the whole shape is this plus this, which is going to give you exactly what you're going to find that is going to give you 32.14 centimeters squared. All right, so calculate the length of AB. They wanted the length of AB. I know that all of this is 6 centimeters. All of this 6 centimeters. It is a right-angled triangle, so I need to find the hypotenuse. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. I need to find C squared, so A squared is 36 plus B squared, which is also 36. So C squared equals 72. C is the root of 72, right? So you're going to get your calculator and do this. Root of 72 equals 8.5, rounding it to 1 decimal place, 8.5. Even if you go to the mark scheme and check this, you're going to find that this is question 19. You're going to find them telling you 8.5 centimeters or 8.48 to 8.49, anything is accepted. So 8.5 centimeters is accepted. Question 20, Anastasia asks the audience of a film if they liked it or did not like it. The compound bar chart shows her results. This is did not like it, and the light gray is liked it. Show that 30% of people in the audience did not like it, did not like the film. First, I need to know how many did not like and the total number. So total audience are how many? Here I've got until 95, while here I've got until only 55. So 95 plus 55 equals 150. That's the total audience. Total who did not like it. You're going to find that it is from 65 until 95, which is how many? From 65 until 95 did not like it, which is 30 people. Plus, here it is from 40, look at that, this is 40, until 55, which is how many? 15 people, which is 45, right? So now total who did not like it is 45. Out of the total audience, which is 150, I want it as a percentage, then you multiply by 100 equals, go and get it. 45 over 150, then you multiply by 100, gives you 30% exactly. So it is total of those who did not like it, 45 out of all the audience, which is 150 multiplied by 100 gives you 30%. 21. A, the audience between two cities is 17,000 kilometers correct to the nearest thousand. So we wanted the upper limit. So here they gave you the lower limit. So it is to the nearest thousand. Then you add 500 or subtract the 500 for the lower limit. So it is going to give you 17,500 for the upper limit. I added 500. This one over here, the mass of a bag is 1.00 kilograms, correct to 2 decimal places. Find the lower limit, then it is 2 decimal places. I must minus 0.00 for the 2 decimal places, and at the end you put a 5. So because they want the 2 decimal places, then I'm going to put 2 zeros after the point, and then a 5 in the third decimal place. Doing this on your calculator, 1.00 minus 0.005, it is going to give you exactly 0.995 kilograms. That's the lower limit. The curved surface area of the cylinder is 845 centimeters squared. This is the curved surface, which is this. All right. Find the area of the top of the cylinder. I need to find the area. I need to find the radius. The radius is what? But I need to use this piece of information. The surface area of the cylinder, the curved surface area of the cylinder is 845 centimeters squared. You learned how to find the area of the curved surface. We learned that area of the curved has a rule, which is pi d times h. Pi, we're going to use the calculator for it. And they told you that the area actually refers to the area of the curved face is 845. This is what they said. Equals pi times d. We don't know d. Times the height, which is 18, which is 845 equals 18 pi d. I need to find the diameter. So I'm going to do 845 divided by 18 pi to find the diameter. So let's do it on the calculator. This becomes 845 over 18 pi. This will give you the diameter, which is this number, divided by 2. Why? I wanted the radius only. I don't want the diameter. So divided by 2 while it's still there on the calculator. You find that the diameter is almost the radius is 7.47. So radius is 7.47. They want the area of the circle. So area of the circle equals pi r squared equals pi times 7.47 squared equals, then you find it. You can say this pi times radius, which is 7.47 squared equals 175.3, 175.3. You're going to find that this is within the range that is mentioned in the mark scheme. 175.3, that's question 22. 175.3 is within the range. Question 23, find the values of the integers a and b when this. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is to expand the brackets and get ax as it is down. So let's do this. This is going to become x squared. Expanding these two brackets is going to lead you to x squared minus plus 5x minus 5x minus 25 plus ax equals, expand the brackets also over here and bring the b down. So it's going to be x squared plus 12x minus 30 minus, first here we said x squared, 12x minus 3x minus 36 plus b. Collect the like terms. So here x squared, bye-bye. So we can rearrange it to get plus ax here first. It doesn't matter actually if you keep it in the same position. Minus 25 equals x squared, and simplify these two together, collect them, is going to give you plus 9x, and here negative 36 plus b, we cannot do anything about them. If you noticed here, x squared is the same as the x squared. Ax is equal to the 9x. So imagine that I'm saying to you ax is the 9x. We have it equals in between. So ax equals 9x. What is a? Well, it's 9. Ax, 9x, so they are the same, so a is 9. All right, and the last part over here is telling you negative 25, this one, is the same as the last part there. There's equal sign in between. So negative 25 equals the negative 36 plus b. Sending negative 36 to the other side with positive, so negative 25 plus 36 equals b. So b is going to be equal to 11 exactly. So b is 11. Rajiv has a bag containing only red counters and blue counters. Safia has a different bag containing only red counters and blue counters as well. They each take one counter at random from their bag. The probability that Rajiv picks a red counter from his bag is 0.6 written. So definitely the blue is the rest of the one whole, which is 0.4. The probability that they both pick a red counter, and Rajiv picks a red counter, and focus on this, and we agreed on probability and means times, and a red counter, also Safia, gives you 0.18, 0.18. So 0.6 times what is 0.18? Mentally, you can notice that it's 0.3, or if you want to do 0.18 divided by 0.6 is going to give you 0.3. So now we needed to know 0.6 times what is going to give me the 0.18. We found that is 0.3. So since Safia to pick red is 0.3, then the blue is 0.7, the rest of the one. And Safia is still the same here, 0.7. They are the same. Good. Now, find the probability that they both pick a blue counter. So blue and they said both, so and blue. 0.4 times 0.7 equals 0.28. This is the probability, 0.28. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.